Hi, I'm Monica Fernandez with Evolution Essentials. In this video, I'm going to be giving you some tips on how to handle pet grief to minimize the pain of loss and the pang of guilt. This is a hard subject. I'm not going to pretend it's not. Lots of different opinions on how long pet grief lasts. So I'm going to give you my experience on it and some tips to minimize the pain of it all and the guilt that you may feel during this difficult time. Please stay with me until the end because I have a free gift for you that will help you manage the stress of loss. I know this is not a really happy subject. The reason that I wanted to share this with you is because I've gone through this a few months ago. I had gone through pet loss before, but this last one really hit me hard. Hit me so hard, and I wrote about it. I want to just briefly read what I wrote. So it said, I wrote, "Grief is so much harder than I remember. It feels like a black hole of despair, and you can't see any light to help you navigate out of the dark abyss. Abyss, black hole, well, tunnel. It feels like I am lost and that my heart is squeezed at any moment whenever I think of my baby boy, Lucky. My black and white tuxedo from the North Attleboro, Massachusetts shelter that I adopted 18 years ago. It seems like a lifetime ago that I met him. He was 1 or 2 when I adopted him. And so that made him 19 or 20 by the time that he passed. He was sick for 5 months with congestive heart failure. And I feel like I need to share this with you because even though this is terribly hard to share, I need to honor his story because his story, Lucky, my cat Lucky, has taught me so much. And I'm going to cry because this is still a difficult process, and I hope you bear with me. So he was sick for 5 months, and for the 5 months that he held on, he taught me more about bravery and courage than any human being has ever taught me, if that is possible. I'm sorry, I didn't plan on crying, but I knew that it was a possibility. My first tip for you, if you've lost a pet, whether it's a cat, a dog, a bird, a lizard, a snake, I don't care what kind of pet it is. If you have this familiar attachment, because pets become our family, they're part of our family, my first tip for you is cry. Cry. Don't ever feel bad about crying. You need to cry. You need to mourn because death is a final thing, and this whole thing is a process. So please cry. I'm telling you, it's been months and I still cry. But so my first tip for you is cry. The second one that probably is natural to me because I do it already in a regular basis is writing. So tip number 2 is to write. And even though you may not feel like writing, think of it as journaling. You want to put your feelings on paper. You want to do a brain dump. You want to do a heart dump. All of the feelings, everything that's coming up, you need to just write it out, dump it all, completely dump it. It doesn't matter if you never read it again. It doesn't matter if you want to burn it or shred it or throw it down the toilet. I don't care what you do with it. The whole point is for you to allow these feelings to get out because they need to get out. You need to process the loss. The loss is hard. And you lost a pet. And a pet, let me tell you, a pet is a family member. It's like a human. And it is a being that is with you all the time. it's a being that depends on you. So in a way, it's your child. And I know that probably a lot of people out there don't feel that way. And I know, I mean, I have some people in my life that don't feel that way about pets. Maybe they've never had a pet, or they just don't have that type of attachment to a pet. I love my animals like I love people, deeply and 100%. Um, the difference between humans and animals is that the love is unconditional, and with the pets it's unconditional. So writing things down and really just doing that brain dump, that heart dump. I call it a heart dump because your heart is being squeezed and you just want everything to be over. You don't want to exist anymore. You want to go with your pet. And you need to honor those feelings, and you need to dump it all. You need to dump it all. So just write it out. If you're really attached to your pet, if you were really attached to your pet, you're going to cry every day. I'm telling you, you're going to cry every day. And you might cry multiple times a day. Tip number 3 is allow for time to pass, because time will pass. And even though it hurts, it still hurts. There's an ease that comes with time. You're not going to love your pet any less. You're not going to miss him any less. But maybe the crying is not going to happen every day. Maybe it's going to happen every other day. And you're going to find that it's a success. You're going to be like, I'm so happy I'm only crying every other day. And then you either see a video of your pet or a picture, or you talk to someone on the phone about it, and it all comes flooding. And that's okay. You just let it happen. Tip number 4 is, if you have other pets like me, I have my 15-year-old, 14 actually. I have a 14-year-old cat. So he was younger. His name is Rocky, and they weren't terribly close, but they were brothers for 14 years. And deep down, they loved each other. Don't forget about your other pets. So if you have other pets, and don't forget obviously about the other humans in the house, because they're mourning too. Your other pets are mourning. The other humans are mourning. By doing it together and by giving a lot of love to everyone in the home, it's going to be better. We spent so much time taking care of Lucky because of his illness, taking him to the vet, applying the medication, just catering to him and tending to him, that we neglected Rocky. And that happens when you are caring for someone who is ill. And the time after he passed, we decided it was time to make up for that neglect. And we just loved him more in terms of giving him extra kisses and spending more time. And my other cat was mourning. I mean, he was sad. I could tell. He was a bit apathetic. He was a bit lethargic. And he knew that we were sad. But you want to make sure that you don't forget about them, and that you also give them a lot of love. I wasn't intending this video to be a crying fest, so I'm sorry for that. If you want to know what essential oils to use when your cat is sick, please watch this video right here that I did. So tip number 5 is get support. So support could come in many forms, and it could come that you pick up the phone and you talk to someone. You can talk to someone who's been through this. You can talk to a loved one. You can talk to a family member. You can talk to a therapist. You can talk to an animal communicator if you want to try that. Get support. There's support groups that for pet parents that are grieving, Tip number 6 is meditate and focus on the good memories. In our case, the end was not pretty, and we watched it, and it was hard, and it was a bit violent, and it was very heart-wrenching, and that memory stays with you. It doesn't leave you, and it almost is overbearing to the other memories, the good memories that you have with your pet. So try to shift and pivot your memories, your thoughts into the good memories. Look at photos where your animal was healthy and was happy, and think about, or focus on videos that you have where the animal is playing, or that basically reminds you of good memories. Tip number 7 is have a designated ceremony or a shrine or a memorial, a designated space for all of this. We had a designated ceremony in our family, just at home, to say goodbye to him. We also, when we got his ashes back, we designated a space where he was going to stay. We debated on what to do with his ashes, and we decided that ultimately we wanted to keep them with us. And you may decide to bury your animal. You may decide to spread his ashes or her ashes somewhere. That is up to you. Whatever feels right for you is what you need to do. But have a designated event and space to honor your animal, your pet. If you're really feeling stressed out, please watch this video right here on the 10 ways to manage stress naturally. Number 8 is see the beauty of the gift. And what I mean by this, I said to you that Lucky really, he was a gift in our lives, but the last 5 months, he really taught us about courage, and he never complained. He was dwindling with his congestive heart failure. He lost a lot of weight, and he was not himself. He did not look great, even though he always had a great attitude, and he always had confidence in his strutting walk that signified, I'm still here, I'm making the best of it. And I respect that. I respected that, and I think he taught us a lot. Want to hang with me more? Subscribe here, and don't forget to hit the notification bell, which is that little gray bell next to the subscribe button, and that way you can be notified when I upload a new video every week. Don't know what to watch next? Watch this video right here on the 7 essential oils to help you deal with stress. Tip number 9, and it's my final tip, is don't allow people to get you more down. Some people are not going to have or understand the same experience you're going through. They're not going to understand why you are so sad, why you are so down, why you are mourning this loss for yourself. They're not going to understand. They're not going to be empathetic. They're not going to be compassionate. Try to stay away from those people, and please protect yourself from these people, even if they're your friends or family. You don't really need anyone dragging you down at this time. You want anything that will help you pull you up and uplift you and really try and pull you up. You don't need anybody making you feel down. And like I said before, if people have not experienced this type of loss with a pet and will make certain judgments about the way that you're acting with the loss of your pet, you need to stay away from those people. So don't feel bad about not talking to those people. It's okay. You have my permission not to talk to them, because you don't need that type of toxicity in your life right now. You need to be uplifted. You're already in enough pain. You are probably, not everybody experiences this. I did, but not everybody does. You experience the guilt, the pang of guilt that you have because you think you could have done something else. You could have done something differently. You could have behaved in a different way. You could have made a different decision in terms of your pet care. You could have done something different at the end. You're going to feel that type of guilt. As a cat mom, I felt that deeply, deeply. I felt guilty. He passed in the middle of the night. I did not, and it was excruciating, and it took hours. And my mind, everything is so overwhelming. Sometimes you don't have the ability to pick up the phone or even get in your car to take your animal somewhere else. And, you just opt to just let life do its thing. And in our case, Lucky was home. He was with the people that loved him the most. When he took his last breaths, he was with us. So he was with the people that loved him the most. So I felt guilty about, maybe I should have taken him the day before to the vet. It's hard to make those decisions. It's very hard to make those decisions. You never know what the right time is. And you can't feel guilty. You can't feel guilty about it. You are the pet parent, and you have to make those decisions and know that your pet is no longer suffering. Know that your pet has crossed to Rainbow Bridge. And that one day you're going to meet your pet again. I'm sorry again that I'm crying so much. I am not an expert in this pet grief business. I am just someone that wants to give you some tips on how to minimize that pain of loss and the pang of guilt. And because I've been through it not that long ago, and I just want to help you get through it. If this was helpful, please give this video a like. I hope you got major value from this video. Please comment below with your pet's name that you've lost. See you in the next video.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends. See you next time.